Hi everybody. Today we are reading chapter 13 of our read aloud book, Escape from Mr. Lemoncello's Library. Yesterday we left off and the 12 kids are in the library. They just played this really cool virtual board game, real life sized board game, and it was a trivia game, and Kyle didn't win, Charles Chitlington won, but I'm excited to find out more about the next game that they are asked to play by Mr. Lemoncello or Dr. Zachinko. Okay, so let's get started with our book today. We are on chapter 13. What happened next was extremely cool. A holographic image of a second librarian appeared beside Dr. Zachinko at the center desk. She looked a little like Princess Leia being beamed out of R2-D2 in Star Wars, except she had an old-fashioned bubble-top hairdo, cat's eye glasses, and a tweed jacket with patches on the elbows. Here to present our official library lock-in rules, said Dr. Zachinko, is Mrs. Gail Tobin, head librarian of Alexandriaville Public Library back in the 1960s when Mr. Lemoncello was your age. Overhead, the Wonder Dome had shifted back to its 10 Dewey Decimal displays. How old is she? asked Sean Keegan. She'd be 110 if she were still alive. But she's dead and working here? Let's just say her spirit lives on in this hologram. Mrs. Tommins, the one who helped Mr. Lemoncello so much, Kyle whispered to Akimi when he was a kid. I know. Her hair looks like a beehive. Kyle shrugged. From what I've seen on TV, the 1960s were generally weird. Welcome, children, to the Library of the Future, said the flickering projection. Dr. Zachinko will now pass out Lemoncello Library floor plans, your map, and the guide to the extraordinary building that has to offer. Your new library cards will grant you access to all rooms except Master Control Center, the red door you passed on your way in, and of course Mr. Lemoncello's private suite on the third floor. Charles Chitlington dangled his golden key in front of his face. I believe you need this to enter. Mrs. Tommen ignored him. She was a hologram. That made it easier. Security personnel are on duty 24 hours a day, she continued. During your stay, all of your actions will be recorded by video cameras, as outlined in the consent agreements you and your parents signed earlier. Are we going to be on a reality TV show? Asked Haley, smiling up at the tiny camera with a blinking red light. It is a distinct possibility, said Dr. Zachinko. I like television, said a ghostly image of Mrs. Tommen. Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In is my favorite program. Returning to the rules. The use of personal electronic devices is strictly prohibited at all times during the lock-in. The security guard clearance and a guy who looked like his identical twin brother entered the rotunda, each of them carrying an aluminum attaché case. An attaché is kind of like a briefcase. Kindly deposit all cell phones, iPods, and iPads in the receptacles provided by your security guards. Clarence and Clement. Your devices will be safely stored for the duration of your stay, and will be returned to you at the conclusion of our activities. Also, you may use the desktop pad computers in this room to comb through our card catalog and conduct internet research. However, these devices cannot send or receive email or text messages, whatever those might be. Remember, I retired in 1973. We still used carbon paper, and now Dr. Zachinko will walk you through the floor plan. Everybody unfold their map pamphlets. As you can see, said Dr. Zachinko, fiction titles are located here in the reading room. The children's enrichment room with soundproof walls is over there. 2 fully equipped community meeting rooms, as well as the Book Nook Cafe behind those windows where the curtains are drawn, are also located on this floor. Upstairs on 2, you will find 10 numbered doors, each leading into a chamber filled with books, information, and, well, displays related to its coordinating Dewey Decimal category. Kyle raised his hand. Yes? Where's the Electronic Learning Center? Dr. Zachinko grinned. Upstairs on the 3rd floor, where you will also find the boardroom, the art and artifacts room, the IMAX theater, and the Lemoncello Abalia room. Can we go upstairs and play? Asked Bridget Wage. I want to try out the space shuttle simulator. I want to learn how to drive a car, said Sean Keegan. A race car. I want to conquer the world with Alexander the Great, said Yasmin Smith Snyder. Apparently, everybody was doing what Kyle had already done, checking out the available educational gameware listed at the back of the floor plan. Early access to the Electronic Learning Center will be tonight's second prize, said Dr. Zachenko. To win it, you must use the library's resources to find dessert, which have been hidden somewhere in the building. Whoever does the research and locates the goodies first will be the first one allowed into the Electronic Learning Center. So you use your wits and use your library. Go find dessert. Everybody raced around the room and sat down at separate desks to start tapping on the glass computer pads. Well, everybody except Sierra Russell. She spent like 2 seconds swiping her fingers across the screen, wrote something down with a stubby pencil on a slip of paper, and then wandered off to inspect the 3-story tall curved bookcases lining the walls at the back half of the rotunda. Kyle watched as she stepped onto a slightly elevated platform with handles, like you'd see on your grandmother's walker. It even had a basket attached to the front. Dr. Zachenko? Yes, Miss Russell. Is this safe? Because the book I want is all the way at the top. Yes, just make sure your feet are securely locked in. Sierra wiggled her feet. Kyle heard a metallic snap. It's like a ski boot, said Sierra. That's right. Now, use the keypad to tell the hover ladder the call number for your book that you are interested in and hang on tight. Sierra consulted the slip of paper and tapped some keys. The bottom of the platform you are standing on is magnetic, said Dr. Zachenko. There are ribbons of electromagnetic material in the lining of the bookcases. The strength of those 2 magnets will be modulated by our maglev computer based on the call number you input. 2 seconds later, Sierra Russell was floating in the air, drifting up and to the left. It was absolutely awesome. The hover ladder must use advanced magnetic levitation technology, said Miguel, seated at the desk to Kyle's right. Just like the maglev bullet trains in Japan. Cool, mumbled Kyle. And for the first time in his life, Kyle Keeley wanted to check out a library book more than anything in the world. And that concludes our chapter 13. So I'm excited to learn about who finds this dessert and what it kind of means by dessert. Because if we know from what we've read, Dr. Zachenko doesn't always say what she means. So I'm kind of wondering if dessert really means something or it might have another alternate meaning. So let's join me tomorrow as we read chapter 14 together. All right, bye.